You're watching Fugitive Redeye, and welcome to another episode of Redeye Raw. Corbin really wanted me to do one on this, to do an iceberg video of my channel. Never really done an iceberg type thing before, and I don't really know how to structure it properly, so I'm just going to do the best I can. So apologies if this isn't perfect. I thought doing this as a Redeye Raw makes the most sense. How many layers do those iceberg videos even usually have? I don't know, like 5? I don't fucking know. We'll do 5. So tip of the iceberg, right? All the stuff that's pretty commonplace, stuff that people know me for, right? Anime reviews, DVD collections, that kind of stuff, right? Like movie reviews. That's all like the main stuff that people know me for. I would also say, very common things, Redeye Raw is probably pretty up there, right, out of my stuff. I don't know, it's hard to gauge, because, my views will, they'll ebb and flow. Sometimes they'll be way up, other times they'll stagnate, which, whatever. That's not why I do it. I do it because I enjoy doing it. I would say the next notch down, so, level 2 of the iceberg, right, that's stuff like, my series that maybe I take long gaps in between doing episodes on. I would say Sarge and Friends, movies you probably never fucking heard of, probably. I don't know, that might actually be later down. No, we'll say it's here. Then there's, media opinions and overanalyzing. I'd say those are probably, on the tip of the iceberg, too, but since I do take long breaks in between doing episodes, I'll put them down here. Probably the Team Redeye shit show. I don't feel like that gets viewed by people who aren't already, super into the channel. The gameplay stuff's probably on the top level, so I probably should have mentioned that earlier, but I don't know. It doesn't get, a ton of views a lot of the time. Every now and then I'll get a spike, especially since I haven't been streaming it in a minute. That hasn't gotten any views, so maybe the streams are on the top level, and, the actual uploaded playthroughs are on this second level. Because, again, this is still fairly common stuff that people watch. It's just, maybe not as, what I'm known for as the anime reviews, the DVD videos and stuff. I would say scam baiting's probably either on this level or the third one. It's hard to say between the two because it's been so long since I've done a scam baiting video. But I do know that they were popular with my audience too, so I'll probably bump them up here to the second tier. I know that typically it's not something I've done in a minute, so it would theoretically fit in with this next one for the third level. But we're going to say it's on the second just because when I was doing them they were really popular, and I do plan to do them again ideally at some point in the future. Alright, now we're on to the third level of the iceberg. Again, I hope I'm doing this right. But in this third level, we're going to talk about the series that I've either stopped doing or haven't done in a very long time. So these are series that are either canceled, ended, or on indefinite hiatuses. Again, the scam baiting kind of could fall into this, although I do definitely plan to do more. I think just because they were more popular than a lot of my other videos, I bumped them up a little bit. But before I get to the third level, I think the creepypastas and stuff like that were probably on the second level, just because I take forever to do those two, like the creepypasta reviews and the Happy Yappy sequel reading, Dumb Angel. But to start off this third level, since this is a long series and indefinite hiatuses and stuff, Silver Reviews was also on the second level, sorry. You get the idea. But I actually plan to do some more Silver Reviews here in the future. But yeah, long series, so we'll start with the ones that I've just straight up ended. Captain Shame, finally finished that with a finale I did a few months back. Captain Shame was sort of a precursor to Sarge and Friends, and since Sarge and Friends is drastically better, I saw no reason to keep doing Captain Shame. Not to mention it would kind of contradict itself to go back and forth between the two, so I just decided, hey, let's end Captain Shame. Prior to actually doing the finale episode, it had actually been on an indefinite hiatus for a few years before I'm like, let's just do an epilogue. Random Thoughts is another one that would be on this level, I would imagine, because Random Thoughts has sort of been replaced by Redeye Raw. Random Thoughts was very similar in what I did here, except it had gameplay instead of my face. I would say some other things that belong on this level are things like Tub of the Heart, which was a 3-episode series. Tubba later became a character in Sarge and Friends, but Tub of the Heart itself, I haven't done an episode in 10 years. Yeah, I haven't done an episode of it in 10 years. Maybe slightly less. Maybe more 9, but still, I haven't done one since 2011, so. Point is, Tub of the Heart's been, or maybe it was 2012. Either way, Tub of the Heart is a series that I haven't really gone back to. I've had cameo appearances of the character here and there, but it's not something that continued. Horror Fest was a failed series. The second episode was actually lost. We'll get to that later. But episode 1 would definitely be, I think, on this third level. I would also say Anunnaki War goes on this list. It would have been down much lower, or it would have been down probably on the 4th level. It would have been down on the 5th level, actually, if it was still lost. But Anunnaki War, we did find an upload. For some reason, it got this huge fucking surge of views lately, and it is massively disliked now. Anunnaki War has 2 likes and 12 dislikes. It has like 700 views. Like, granted, that's not the most views I've had on a video, but it's like, why does that have so many views, and why is it so disliked? It also has, like, one of those things that has a disclaimer, where it's like, learn more from Google, here's context, because it was about Anunnaki, right? And so, like, it gives context to the Anunnaki, like, Wikipedia article, because it thinks I'm doing some, like, reptilian conspiracy theory shit, which, granted, it kind of was, but it was a skit, because at the time I made it, I was a hardcore conspiracy theorist and thought the reptilian shit was all actually true. Again, strange history with my, growing and learning, but that was made back when I was 16, so cut me some slack, yeah? But that video wasn't like me talking about it. It was like a fake, like, it was like a bit of us going and fighting the Anunnaki with these little plastic orange shotguns. Like, it was like Horror Fest or Tub of the Heart. It was, it was a skit. The series Let's Burn Something, I don't see myself doing any more of that in the foreseeable future, so that's probably down on this level as well. The snack reviews were probably up on the 2nd level, because I think I do those a little bit more frequently than this. But again, I have so many series, I'm probably not going to remember to name them all here, so apologies on that. But I'll go ahead and move on now to the 4th level, right? So this is the unlisted, secret, and private videos. So I have hundreds of unlisted videos. A lot of them are just like segments of DVD collection videos I forgot to delete after editing them together, because I often upload them to YouTube and then download them back to my computer so I can edit them together if I record them in segments. There's also videos in this category that I just don't agree with anymore, so they're unlisted because I stood for very different things back when I made them. Or they're just plain bad videos, so, I mean, there's a lot of those. There's some private videos that have been privated because, well, for instance, my second video ever made, which is currently the oldest video on the channel, is privated because people involved don't want it to be public, so it's not. Another thing I'm going to put at this level that's not necessarily a video per se, but it's a concept, and that's the channel lore. There is a loose channel lore to this channel. I've kind of gone off and on about whether or not to continue it. But there were hints of it when I rebooted the channel with talking about our cameraman Ned. And there's been little hints here and there to this character called the Master, which is also where the some of the secret videos come from, as they involve the channel lore. One of them I don't even think you can access anymore, because the only way to get to it was through an annotation link that was hidden in an episode of Captain Shame. But since YouTube did away with annotations, I think that was the only way I had to get to it, so there's actually no way to get to that video anymore without me personally giving you the link. There are also 2 other secret videos, I think, that I have so far. One of which, both of them involve decoding some stuff I hid in videos. I plan to do maybe some more of that stuff in the future, but it just depends. There are also some videos that are unlisted that are still in playlists, and I made those unlisted so that certain parties would have a harder time finding them, but if people know where to look, they know where to look. And that's mainly because those videos were on specific works that happen to have creators that like to abuse the copyright system, and so some of those videos might not be the most accessible, but you can still find, and especially since I have that strike still going on for the moment, those are unlisted, but if you know where to look, you can find some of them. Yeah, some of those are still hidden that way. Other than that, I have plenty of other unlisted and privated videos. Some of my stream archives are unlisted, some of them are privated. Some of them are most of them are still public. And out of the ones that are privated, they've all been re-edited and re-uploaded anyway. But I think that about covers the types of content that would be in this 4th tier of the iceberg. Now let's get to the bottom of the iceberg, level 5. So the bottom of the iceberg is going to contain what I like to call the Fugitive Redeye lost content. So for starters, there's a lot of videos that were recorded back in like 2010 or even earlier in some cases, before I even started the channel. The older ones are on like DVDs and stuff and haven't been uploaded. Those aren't necessarily lost forever if I can find a way to upload unfinalized discs, because I did actually upload one of the Gen Zero Redeye things with the Divine Legends machinima that we made. But that's not the only thing we recorded in that fashion, and in fact there was actually more to that machinima that we recorded that I can't find and haven't uploaded. Some of my lost videos are presumably lost forever, like there's Horrorfest 2, which was on, I believe, Jacob's old phone back in 2010. So unless he still has that and we can recover the file like we did with Anunnaki War, because Anunnaki War was recorded on Kyler's old phone from back in 2010. It's the same model. It's this old Nokia flip phone that you could record and upload to YouTube with, and luckily we were still able to upload to it a couple years ago when I actually uploaded Anunnaki War back in 2019. Other than that, my old conspiracy theory content, a lot of that has been, like, deleted. There's some of it that's still up on the channel, but a lot of it's unlisted, too. But the deleted stuff is lost forever because I didn't have backups of it, and I definitely regret doing that. You see, when I rebooted the channel back in 2015, I went on this spree of deleting a lot of old content, and I had no backups of any of it, so I absolutely regret doing that. But the vast majority of my conspiracy theory content was deleted in that fashion. Some of my old rants, I think, have been deleted. An old music video I did was deleted. There's a lot of stuff that's just lost. A lot of other stuff was corrupted when it was uploading, and it was not recorded anywhere. It was uploaded to, like, YouTube has this feature that's still on mobile, I think, but they used to let you do it on computer, where you could record directly to upload directly to YouTube, so you don't actually have to save a file to your hard drive. Some of the videos we did that with, if they got corrupted while uploading, we were just fucked. There was no way to recover them. So that's the case with, Episode 2 of movies you probably never fucking heard of, the original version of Episode 2 anyway. But that's far from the only video that's happened to. Other times there's videos that have been recorded, and I just simply can't find the file anywhere. There's at least one episode of The Shit Show that's the case with. There's probably like 3 or 4, in all honesty, that's happened with. In some cases, I found them and then uploaded them way later. But also, there's at least one episode of Sergeant Friends that's currently lost, and that is Sergeant Bastard Shit Puddin', which is an anime episode. That episode was recorded back during Season 1 of Sergeant Friends, but the phone that it's recorded on can't charge. However, since I have a wireless charger, I'm tempted to try it, and if I can recover that episode, I'll probably upload it sometime during Season 3 or 4. Worst case scenario, we can always redo it if we decide to do that episode again. But I think I've covered just about everything. I've done well over 1,000 videos. I've done closer to 1,500, if not surpassed that at this point. So forgive me if I've missed anything. Like, again, I'm certainly not going to name all the series I have, because I have a lot. But I think you kind of have an idea now of just how deep this rabbit hole goes with some of the content I have hidden, and have lost. But I hope you've enjoyed. This has been Fugitive Redeye. Have a good one. Toodles!